Diamonds and Toads. A bad, ugly widow had 2 daughters. The eldest was like her mother, both in feature and disposition, while the youngest was sweet and pretty. The widow doted on the daughter who was like herself, but had no love for the other, whom she compelled to work hard all day. Among many hard tasks, she had to carry water every day from a fountain that was far away. One day, when she had just filled her pitcher at the fountain, an old woman asked to drink from it. "Of course you may," replied the pretty girl. Glad to show kindness, she held the pitcher while the woman quenched her thirst. Now, this was not a trembling old peasant as she appeared, but a fairy who rewarded good deeds. "Your face is pretty, and your heart is gentle," said the fairy. "For your kindness to a poor old woman, I will give you a gift. Every time you speak, from your mouth shall come a diamond." When the girl reached home, her mother scolded her for her long absence. "Pardon me for being away so long," she sweetly replied. As she spoke, some diamonds issued from her lips. "What is this I see, child?" asked the astonished widow. The girl was so happy to be called child by her mother that she eagerly related her experience with the old woman at the fountain, while with her words dropped even more diamonds. The widow immediately called her favorite daughter to her. "You should have the same gift as your sister," said the widow. "Go to the fountain and fetch water. And if an old woman asks you to drink, be kind to her." The girl, being too lazy, refused to perform the task until the widow lost patience and drove her to it. Finally, she took the pitcher and went to the fountain. When she was coming back home, a lady with a lovely dress asked the haughty girl for a drink from her pitcher. "I am not here to serve you," she rudely replied. "Go to the fountain yourself." The lady was the fairy, who had taken the appearance of a princess to see how far the girl's insolence would go. "I will give you a gift," said the fairy, "to equal your discourtesy. Every time you speak, a toad shall come from your mouth." The girl ran home to her mother, who met her at the door. "Well, daughter," said the widow, impatient to hear her speak. When the daughter opened her mouth, to the mother's horror, 2 toads sprang from it. "This is the fault of your wretched sister," the unhappy widow cried. She ran to beat the poor young sister, who fled to the forest to escape her cruel mother. When she was past pursuit, she threw herself upon the green grass and wept bitterly. The king's son, returning to the castle, found her and asked the cause of her tears. "My mother has driven me from my home," she told him, while diamonds kept falling from her lips. She was so pretty that he fell in love with her at once and pressed her to tell him more. She then related to him the whole story. "Diamonds may fall from your mouth, "But you are the biggest diamond of them all," the prince said. Totally in love, the prince took her to the king, who gave his consent to their immediate marriage, and they lived happily ever after. The end.